All right, good evening. Welcome to the June meeting of the Cartersville Community School Corporation Board. Roll call, all board members and administrators are present with the exception of Kathy this evening, who is on vacation. At this time, I would invite everyone to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, the first item is the consent agenda. Are there any additions or corrections? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Being no old business, moving on to new business, the first item is to consider a memorandum of understanding between Cartersville Community School Corporation and CARA.
Yeah, so this is simply just to allow use at Crawfordsville High School with CARA and a new construction trades program that they will be offering in their programming. So we have that program and the space and the ability to provide that, and so it will be a good opportunity for CARA and what they'll be able to provide. So I would recommend approval of this MOU.
Great opportunity for the students as well. Any discussion? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item is to consider Hendricks Regional Contract.
Yeah, there are three pieces to the contract. There we go, never mind. I think I can do it without my notes. For our previous contract was wonderful. Basically, we paid $10,000 and they gave us $10,000 for two athletic trainers. Athletic trainer programs around the state are ending and becoming more expensive. So there's a significant increase over 3 years for this. So we will go from, again, paying $5,000 per athletic trainer to now this contract moves it to $30,000 per trainer. So $60,000 in year one, $45,000 per trainer, or $90,000 year two, $55,000 or $110,000 total for year three. We did look around and Bryce compared other offers that were out there that still would be the best offer for us. I do think that even at that price, it is a value that is good for our student athletes. And we did have language put in there that if one of our trainers leaves, we could have the conversation of going down to one. So I think that, when you look at the number of middle school concussions and those types of things that come along, that right now we're willing to try to figure out a way to make this work. Just like everybody else, I believe they have financial reasons to ask. They do still provide the $10,000, but it is there. I think that we negotiated through December and just back and forth to get the contract language right, which came in 3 odd documents. But despite the increase, I do recommend that the board approve our agreement with Hendricks Regional for athletic trainer services.
Any discussion?
Why is there such a pronounced increase?
I think that they would say that this is an extremely giving and fair increase, and so that they understood that jumping right ahead. I had tried to basically just go to $50,000, per trainer for 3 years, but they just see the increase. They had their numbers of the number of Crawfordsville athletes who have actually gone from the trainer to Hendricks, and so they came in very well prepared. So this is, I believe that they would say year one is still a significant loss for them, and it's really not till year 3 where it kind of becomes kind of even or possible for them.
Yeah, I would think they were way underpriced.
I never understood the 10,000 and how that was a doable model for them, honestly.
Loss leader.
Yeah, so it makes sense to me.
And I think, Hendricks was huge corporation, very successful. I think they had hopes of maybe getting into our community a little bit more than they have so far, but I think some of those things that come along and, I think that we're right at the distance that parents who are aware. I think for our own staff, we have an agreement through our health insurance trust of, what do we call the service where you can go to the bone and,
Oh, the orthopedic center.
orthopedic center, so excellence of care, basically for our own staff who go to Hendricks, for knee, hip replacement and those types of things, don't have to pay $1 out of pocket. So I think they've done a lot of things, and they're a very giving organization, but I think that they had to address their own financial issues too.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next item is to consider SSC service agreement.
Yes, this is our new agreement with SSC for the outsourcing of our maintenance, custodial, and grounds work. This new agreement does become effective September 1st of this year, and it includes a 10% reduction from the current rate, which puts us at a flat $2 million for the first year, which is actually lower than we were for the 23-24 school year on this contract. The future agreed increases will come every year after meeting between the corporation and SSC. It does have a 3-year guaranteed term with 2 renewal periods to follow, but does also include a 90-day out clause if we ever decide to use that. Another part of this negotiation was a $400,000 signing bonus to be used at the discretion of the corporation itself. We have not worked out those details yet.
Is that 400,000 that at the schools that would be spent on
SSC is giving us $400,000 cash at the time of signing, and it's different kind of signing bonus. Yes, it's a signing bonus. It is amortized over 5 years. So if we do end the contract within 5 years, there is a payback clause, just with a straight line amortization on that. Both management and legal counsel have reviewed this agreement, and we do agree to these terms, so we would recommend that the board approve the agreement.
Well, I also understand that a lot of work was put into getting this agreement in place.
Yes,
so
we've been working with this
yeah.
over the last 5 months.
I
Yes.
appreciate
Well, I know that Baker Tilling this is one of the areas where they suggested we might consider something different. I'm assuming that maybe the 10% reduction is this like?
That's part of it. Yes, we did review a self-op model
Right.
throughout this process, but with this offer coming back in from them, it was at the current time too good to put down.
Yeah.
Just with the signing bonus combined with the 10% reduction to get back to where we were almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, plus doesn't this service own all the if we went in-house, the school would have to repurchase all the equipment and
Yeah.
That recommendation to start with, but I just wondered if it was something we were talking about.
There is a list of equipment,
Talking about for the
yes,
future.
and it is a combination of we own it if it's over 5 years, if it's done being amortized, or they own it, and if we do leave, then we would pay for certain equipment. It wouldn't be near as much as if we're starting from scratch, but a lot of the equipment is fairly new. But if it is a replacement of a prior item, that is not amortized. That's ours. And this also includes, I believe, 5 or 6 pickup trucks as well that are the corporation's ownership if we do end this contract.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Any other discussion? To approve?
move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next is to consider policy 4307, wireless device prohibition. This is a first reading, so no vote will be taken this evening.
Yeah, so this is in response to SEA 78. We're probably all aware of the bell-to-bell restriction, or have at least heard of it and what's coming, and board policy that's required under this legislation. So there are basically 2 options within the legislation, and one is to not allow devices to be brought to school at all, or the second option is that devices must be stored and not accessible and turned off during the school days. So this policy as drafted, which is also out of ISBA's sample policies, would be the option that allows students to bring them but then store. We are waiting for the IDOE guidance on what the storage guidelines can look like, which we are expecting to hopefully receive in the weekly communication this Friday, tomorrow. So we will have some more information in terms of what the implementation of this policy would look like once we get that guidance from the IDOE.
And then we'll bring it back for further discussion in July, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dr. Bocart. The next item is to consider Mishler Dental as the corporation dentist.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Moving right along. Consider Dr. Douglas as corporation doctor.
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next is to consider Stuart Wilver as corporation attorney.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is to consider the Journal Review, the paper, WIMC 103, WCDQ 106.3, and WCBL 1550 as official media outlets.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next is to consider resolution for rainy day transfer of funds.
Yes, this is our first of our semi-annual transfers from the rainy day fund to the operations fund. This resolution is for an amount up to $800,000. We do not anticipate having to come close to that cap at this point. It's just there as a buffer, but we do like having that flexibility depending on how June's financials turn out. So we would recommend the board approve this resolution.
Okay. Any discussion?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
I do want to point out that should have had a cheer from the board and the huge audience in this. So,
Don't expect to have to.
yeah, yes, and 'cause we're doing well financially, and we're making
They're
good
better
gains.
than they have been.
Don't tell Lexi that, but yes, we are. So, yes, it is. Andrew has done a great job with that. We've had a lot of things going our way, and yes, that is one you should be very
Outstanding work. Appreciate it. All right. Let's see, we did vote on that, right? Yeah. Okay, all right. Consider resolution in support of military families.
Do recommend the board approve this. This continues the Purple Star notice at Hoover, and Tricia Wicker and the team there does a great job. Very engaged with the American Legion, and just an outstanding opportunity for our kids in our schools and our community.
What does it look like? What does it look like to have a trained point of contact? I mean, how is this different from what we
Yeah.
had?
So Tricia has completed some of the coursework and those types of things, so that if we were, I mean, obviously we do not have a lot of active duty military families in, but those things that come along. So just how to recognize and provide supports if we were to get into that situation.
Did this not say for every building, or is it just in the system?
It is an application process by building. So, and it is part of Hoover, and they've done a great job with it. So let them continue it. If the other buildings wanted to take their steps, that would be great. It does line up really well with our curriculum and some of the experiences for the fourth graders, and they've participated in our parades, and so it just lines up really well.
But when I read this, it looked like that we were saying we're going to do this at all the buildings.
I wondered about that too.
Well, I will have to review that part, but no, I think it,
A resolution is just a statement of policy
Yep.
or statement. It's not, I don't, if it conflicts with anything, I don't think it's,
Will establish a trained point of contact at each building. That's the part that I saw
yeah,
too.
I think I read that as Hoover is the building applying, so Hoover would be the application building that would agree to that. So, and we can update the resolution. Yes, at the building instead of each building.
Okay.
I apologize for that confusion.
Any other discussion?
Did we amend it to say at this point it's Hoover? Because I don't see Hoover written on here anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I don't object to it in principle at all, anywhere. I just don't want to make promises that we're not keeping. Yeah.
Is that a motion as amended?
I guess, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All right, thanks. All right. Next item is policy 1310, electronic participation by board members in board meetings revision.
And that didn't make it in here, right? Is it? Oh,
So I think this just formalizes what we're actually practicing right now.
Yeah, so this policy revision just brings the board up to date with Indiana code language that allows board member participation electronically. So, yeah, would recommend approval of this revision.
I would move to approve.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to personnel. You have a few resignations to
Yep.
address.
Recommend the board approve resignations 1 through 6.
All in favor?
Aye.
And moving on to hiring.
Yep. I recommend Susan Ward as a CARA adult education instructor.
Move approval?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Change of position, no action required by the board.
Yeah, you can, just that time of year, kind of making some moves around. A handful of these deal with kind of the changes in our co-op in the preschool world. So we've made some moves there and had to kind of right size at the preschool. So, you know, combining some positions and making some moves. And then the rest are just staff moving into different openings that come along.
Any questions from anyone on this? Right, we'll move on to business manager.
Yes, thank you. First item, Dr. Riker and I will be attending the school budgeting and finance seminar presented by IAPSS, ISB, and IASBO next week. This does mark the first event of our budget calendar for the coming 27 budget year. And then also we will be getting you next month the official calendar of board dates and important other deadlines that we have to hit for the 27 budget. We do have a continued disclosure that is going through right now. So last week we worked with Baker Tilly to complete this annual disclosure for compliance filing. The required filing is because we have debt with the school corporation and with the school building corporations for both the middle school and the overall corporation itself. This filing includes our current and projected enrollments, the summary of our basic grant payments that we receive, net assessed valuation information, historical property tax levies, as well as what was collected each year, certified tax rates, highest taxpayers, cash balances by fund, and an overall unaudited financial report for our corporation. Baker Tilly does this filing for us every year with some information that we give them, so we do thank them for completing that service for us. If you want a copy of that, we can give that to you as well. The last item I have is just the financial report that you have in front of you. I do apologize for that coming this morning. I thought I got that in earlier. Just some items noted from Baker Tilly is that there's roughly a $62,000 overall cash balance increase for May. The projection for the operations fund does look to be positive by the end of June, mainly due to our property tax settlement that we will be getting this week. The rainy day fund cash balance did increase to $2.9 million after that transfer out of the education fund. And then we also just want to point out that our 12-month percentage balance of expenditures for our three major funds is up to 14.74%. That is up from about 9% about 2 years ago, and it is up from, it's 7.27% higher than it was at this point last year. And we do still project the percentage at the end of this calendar year to be about 20%. So we're about 3 times as much as we were at that point in the end of.
Thanks to your hard work for making that happen, because I know we were kind of getting some negative attention.
Yes, we have been. It's
10%, so
been a full team effort to get it to where it is, and we're hoping to make it better.
as Dr. Rector said, there little 3 cheers for that one too, so.
That is all I have tonight.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nicodemus. Dr. Bocart.
Yeah, thank you. So first off, I just want to point out there that Amber's been working with the health department to provide safety vests for all staff in case of emergencies, as well as delineator posts that we would look to use for reunification. That was one of the big pieces of feedback and reflection and debrief that came out of our high school to middle school reunification was controlling pedestrian traffic flow as they enter the building, and that could be used at either the CMS site or the CHS site too. So thankful for what she's been doing with the health department, and the health department, they're using some grant funds to provide that, and so appreciate that collaboration.
Safety vests just mean like the reflective bright color.
Yep.
Identified. Okay.
Yep. Attended school law seminar on June 9th, just a couple days ago. So some topics that were covered were AI, that continues to be a high focus, and how that shows up in many things, not just policy, but cyberbullying and handbooks and AUPs, and how we'll need to probably be looking at some language coming up in some of our things there with AI. Bullying, that's another one that's starting to show up in as well. So taking a look at probably our student discipline handbook and some things down the road as we continue to take on what AI is doing to everybody. So upcoming legislation was covered. Always good to hear some things. We try to stay up on those things, but always good to hear confirmations and the information that comes from that. Contracts, and would point out that Stu presented in the afternoon session of that, and so he did a great job and represented well. So it was a good day with a lot of good information. Curriculum instruction assessment, Wabash Valley coaching support. So met with the elementary principals and instructional coaches there with Jamie Ramsey and Wendy Thompson on what they will be providing for K-5 the next year with some support. So K-3 has had support through the cadre the last 2 years. That was 2 years. We knew it was going to be 2 years, and so that is falling off. So this will be a great segue to bring Jamie and Wendy and their team in to work, and we'll be looking at a focus area of MTSS and also bridging across the buildings. So creating a connection to bridge those 1 to 2 and then 3 to 4 transitions as well. So excited where that will go and what they'll be able to do with our elementary teams. Mass screener, professional development. Mr. Walter and I attended a PD over in Indianapolis on the mass screeners. So that is a required piece for K2, and the IDOE has approved 2 programs for us to choose between. So one of them we are familiar with, which is iReady. The other one is Forefront, which we have not used, so not as familiar with that. So it was great to go over and get the information and hear about it. And they actually came away with many things that were positive. Came back and worked through with the coaches and with Mrs. Hall as well. And actually, we are going to go the Forefront route for that mass screener, and excited what that data will be able to do. The way it was packaged and the usability of it was very appealing. So I think one thing we're having a lot of conversations on is, if we're going to give an assessment, how are we using it? Because if we're going to give it, it needs to be important, and Forefront I think is going to be able to do that for us. And last piece there is SAT. Just been working with reading and math teams, English and math teams at the high school, exploring some different programs and some resources specifically for our juniors as they continue to. That continues to be the test that the high school is measured by in March every year of that junior year. So working through that and appreciate those teachers and what they're looking at using to implement into the classroom for all kids. So that is your assistant superintendent report.
Thank you, Dr. Burkhart. Dr. Riker.
Good evening. All right. Please see the Oracle. And when you look in the Oracle, you'll see that we once again were the county chase champions in the all sports between the 3 county schools. That's 4 out of the last 5 years. So overall, all of our athletes are doing exceptional. We were sectional champions in girls tennis and girls track. Boys golf qualified for regionals after finishing 3rd in the sectional, and they were county champs this year. Also in the Oracle, right, you got your graduation coverage and some retirement information and the sports banquet information. So another great Oracle. Thank you to the board for attending the CHS and the AVA graduations. Both were wonderful events and very rewarding to kind of see graduation and all the commitment that goes into helping our students succeed and walk across the stage I think we would all agree that AVA brings a fun energy. So we did receive, yeah, definitely a different energy. I also think the space, other than I think we've outgrown the auditorium. So yeah, in 2 years to think of the growth there. And the enrollment rolls in every day right now. So that's outstanding. We did receive some feedback on the air horns that were being used at the CHS graduation. Obviously, that is one that Mr. Strickland and his team will figure out a way to address and come along with that. So, yeah. Yeah. And it just was maybe some of our own students had joined in on that one this year. So, did have a debrief meeting with CPD, CFD, some police department, fire department, about the bomb threat and the location of our students. It's kind of interesting is that Jay Strickland and I, as brand new administrators, were sent by Kathy Steele to this National Incident Management System training where Todd Barton, Mayor Barton, was our trainer. So, so all those conversations and lessons on incident command came into our conversation. So grateful for everybody being involved, but just always trying to figure out how we can do things better. In the world of educational leadership, working with the mayor and Cheryl Morphew and the other CTE co-op superintendents, so Dr. Hofer and Dr. Tharp in Montgomery County and Mr. Whitley over in Western Boone. Just work-based learning is going to change the way a high school looks in the next handful of years, and we're just trying to work together to make sure that I think together we can make better use of the resources and opportunities for our students. So trying to figure out what that looks like moving forward. So fun conversations and good brainstorming and working with that. And I don't know if you've ever worked with Cheryl Morphew at all. She is impressive and she is a go-getter, and so it's outstanding. So I'm grateful that the mayor, this all just lines up so well with the mayor's vision for the Career Academy, and how work-based learning and CTE are the same and not the same and work together. But Sarah Nicodemus also is the CTE director, is involved in those conversations. So I think we'll have some interesting things to report by the end of the summer and work through that. Grateful for my team. Andrew did an awesome job. He led the negotiations with SSC, so that's outstanding. And obviously the financial things that are the benefits that are coming along with some of the opportunities that we've made use of is excellent. So moving right along. Reminders, next board meeting, July 9th. CARA graduation, Friday, June 26th. New teacher luncheon is July 31st, 2026. That'll be here, correct? Yes. And board retreat, July 30th, from 9 to 1. Currently, it is here, correct? I am inviting you, if you would like. The admin team over the summer is reading this book, Districts That Succeed, Breaking the Correlation Between Race, Poverty, and Achievement. If you would like a copy, there is one. If you would like to join us at our admin retreat when we discuss it, you're more than welcome to come in. The book we took a team over to Frankfurt. So Frankfurt has very similar, right, race, poverty, formerly achievements, and they had made significant gains in their iRead scores. So we went over and had a conversation with them, and they talked that this book was very important in the mindset. So we are reading it and looking at that. So that is an opportunity. If you would like to join us, we would love to have you. So grateful to be your superintendent, proud to be an Athenian.
Thank you, Dr. Riker. No other business that I'm aware of. Board member communications.
Agree with Dr. Riker. Our graduations are special, and the AVA was just absolutely wonderful this year. So thank you to everybody who's involved in putting those together. And the efficiency at the CHS graduation is unmatched. All those people in and out in an hour, and to have a wonderfully appropriate ceremony is just great.
The building and grounds look great too, so yeah, appreciate, hats off to all the people that put forth the effort to make it look good for us. Patron comments? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor? All right, thanks, everyone.